Hello, everyone. Much gratitude for you all who have joined this Patreon. Today, we're going to be focusing on healing the root chakra. Now, what is the root chakra? Most people consider the root chakra the first chakra. It is located at the base of the spine. It is the center stabilizing point for the other main 7 physical chakras. It's tied closely to the earth and rules the material realm along with basic survival blueprints and mechanisms. The mantra for the root chakra are going to include affirmations that start with I am. The root chakra is associated with the color red, so anytime you're working on the root chakra, wearing the color red or imagining the color red would be very beneficial. It's very important for us to balance our root chakra because this can create financial obstacles and blockages for us if we do not have that balance. The root chakra center carries a fire energy and is often associated with sex. It is the sexual center for men. Women have the sexual center being in the sacral chakra. It also carries the childhood traumas, memories, things that we learned then, things that may have created anxiety, fear, depression, even seeing other people's traumas at a young age can throw the root chakra off, creating things like anxiety, depression, and other physical ailments and diseases. The root chakra rules the feet and legs. That is why when it's unbalanced, it can result in sciatica, peripheral neuropathy, nervous conditions, or conditions dealing with the feet and the legs like diabetes, obesity, which also affects the feet and legs. The color that's most associated with the root chakra specifically is a vibrant ruby red. This frequency of this color oozes juicy passion, power, and energy. Red is also the color of fire, blood, rage, desire, and love. It carries an intense vibration that's linked to the Kundalini energy and is also known to raise metabolic and respiration rates. The primal needs that govern this chakra is of rapid growth, development. The primary motivations that most of us need to have security, the emotional needs of interconnection, and the body parts that are associated with the root chakra, again, are the feet, the legs, and certain parts of the genitals. As we discussed, mainly for males, does it represent the sexual organ or the penis, the lingam, and on females, this represents the vagina. In addition, the root chakra includes the skeletal system and various elimination organs, including the large and small intestines, the colon, the rectum, and the bladder, plus the lower extremities, the hips and joints as well. The root chakra shares responsibility with other chakras for functioning of the prostate and with the sacral chakra for functioning of the elimination organs. The root chakra is associated with the adrenal glands, which are small triangular shaped glands that produce hormones such as cortisol and sex hormones. These glands help regulate metabolism, inflammation in the body, blood pressure, the immune system, and the fight or flight response. The root chakra is also associated with a sense of smell, and the key sense organ for this chakra is the nose. Working with things like essential oil through aromatherapy is an excellent way to bring the root chakra back into balance. Here are some amazing essential oil scents for the root chakra. Diseases and illnesses associated with the root chakra, especially when it's out of balance, include eating disorders, obesity, anal and intestinal disorders, including hemorrhoids and constipation, sciatica, sexual dysfunction, chronic fatigue, and fibromyalgia. Bone and teeth disorders, blood deficiencies, issues with the base of the spine or the lower back, arthritis, and addictions like alcoholism, gambling, and drug abuse can also be associated with the unbalanced root chakra too, because if you think about it, people who have a gambling addiction tend to feel like they are trying to win financial security. They're trying to win money to help pay for things, and 9 times out of 10, if it gets really bad, they tend to steal and do things to try and up for the amount that they need to feed that addiction. It is in the root chakra. So if you meet anyone who has a gambling addiction, that stems from having an unbalanced root chakra. You can also be born with an unbalanced root chakra. Perhaps you were a child of birth and complications, divorced parents, or parents who endured financial hardship. You may have suffered from abuse or were raised in a rough neighborhood or watched abuse, whether it was mental, physical, or emotional. Some of us could grow up with a childhood featuring safe surroundings and caregivers, nurturing primary relationships, adequate food and financial resources, and healthy social connections. So the influences of how we are raised have a big part when it comes to the root chakra. Your experiences become internalized, as it's not until you're an adult that you finally unwind some of your past traumas. You suddenly become aware of built-in attachment and abandonment issues, trust gaps, and boundary-making habits. The fact is that your beliefs about your circumstances help support your identity as a physical and spiritual being in the world. When your physical being is threatened, your spiritual ability to create is diminished. It is not until you have opened up and cleared through some of the layers that the higher chakras were able to fully open, creating gateways to higher realms of consciousness. So you have to start in the root to even try and work with any other chakras. If one chakra is off balance, it will throw everything else off of balance, especially if it's the root. If you cannot balance that root, you cannot balance any other chakra above it. So the root chakra is very much so important. People who have endured certain traumas, such as experiencing a death at a very young age, especially of the mother or father, tend to have a lot of trouble balancing out their root chakras. A balanced root chakra will allow you to generally feel secure within yourself and have built up some solid levels of self-trust. Each time you listen to yourself and tune into your own voice, you reinforce the fact that you are able to learn into this trust when you need it. Your needs will be met, and eventually it will lead to abundance and prosperity. If your root chakra is balanced, you're in the driver's seat with your bodily and sexual desires, and you're sustaining a high level of practical awareness through non-judgment. You will have presence, patience, calm, and renewal flowing through you in this state of being. And you may feel a closer connection to others as well as the natural world that surrounds you. People who are introverts, who really do not go out and see anyone or barely leave the house, have a hard time feeling secure, and usually it leads to things like anxiety and depression, which an unbalanced root chakra can also cause. There are also certain deities that are associated with the root chakra, such as Parvati, Shakti, Bhumi, and Brahma. These are Hindu goddesses and gods who represent universal messages of foundational alignment of your path. Parvati, the Great Mother, comes with the message that it is to your benefit to recommit to personal growth and inner devotion. It is not always easy to make your relationship to yourself a primary focus, but you owe it to yourself to be of service in this truth. Shakti, which is the feminine counterpart to Shiva, represents energy, movement, and sheer power. When she is present, great change is afoot. Shakti, whose essence rises in pure kundalini flowing up your spine, a goddess of transformation, who helps you seek a greater love for yourself. Bhumi is the Hindu goddess of Mother Earth. She presides over the fertility of the land and the profusion of Earth's natural resources. In her guardianship, she offers her protection over the environment. When she is present, you can expect expansion and growth. And Brahma, one of the sacred gods in the Hindu Holy Trinity, represent the Holy Spirit and creator energy. Brahma is said to be self-born, and he was born from a golden egg, making him the first god. Like the ancient paradox asking which came first, the chicken or the egg, this deity is the beginning and end to all cycles, only to begin again anew. This is the creator of light and dark, and he begs you to ask yourself, can you find balance and neutrality within? What are you creating, and what have your contributions been? So there are also certain deities that you can work with to help establish a balanced root system and do it in the longevity, so that you know how to properly take care of yourself and create more balance for yourself, leading to not only physical relief and healing, emotional release and healing, but also the balance, and to not carry past life karma or traumas or generational karma and traumas with you, because they are in that base or root chakra as well. Sometimes people say root instead of base, but they're the same thing. It's different than the Earth Star Chakra though, so don't get them confused, because the Earth Star Chakra is different than the root or base. The planet that is associated with the root chakra, of course, is Earth. When you connect to Gaia's earthly layers, you connect to the lush essence of the original sacred grounding energy, which is going to be in the mantra video that will be uploaded right after this one, where I will show you the mantra on how to ground and give you some tips on grounding as well. The root space also holds a Martian frequency. Mars, the red planet, again, red is associated with the base or root chakra, and it's named after the Roman god of war. And its destructive expression, Mars can be quite primal and aggressive in its constructive expression. Energy is intellectual and inspires action towards building a better world. So again, when working with the root chakra, I'd highly recommend you do some meditations, which I will create a folder for on YouTube and put that link in the Patreon as well. But meditating during the hour of Mars, which you can find by downloading a planetary clock from the App Store, will really help that root chakra. Doing things like 5 to 15 meditations is going to allow you to really balance out this chakra, and that's why I've included some 5-minute meditations, some 10-minute meditations, as well as some binaural beats and frequencies in the root chakra folder as well, to help provide more guidance and tools for you to use in balancing out that root chakra. Some essential oils that you can use while meditating or sleeping, or just have going throughout your house to really bring in that smell and use in your holistic healing practice of the root chakra, are scents like patchouli, cinnamon, clove, cedar, ginger, myrrh, and sandalwood. An unbalanced root chakra can cause health conditions that affect the nervous system, such as peripheral neuropathy or sciatica, and these are 9 times out of 10 happening if you are pregnant, if you have diabetes, if you have heavy metals in your system. And mind you, metals can come from water. Like, for example, I'm from Flint, Michigan, so if you've heard about the water there's a lot of metals that are in the iron because of the government refusing to create a better underground system for the pipes, which led to the water being contaminated and is affecting the stages of growth within children even now to this day. To detox your body from heavy metals, I would recommend things like the chlorophyll, which is the ingredient inside of plants that makes them green. It's really good at detoxifying metals from your body, especially heavy metals. Cilantro is really good as well, so if you could include cilantro in your diet, that'll help detox. Ozone therapy as well as vitamin C therapy. It's really important to have an adequate amount of vitamin C, especially for women, because we have periods which release a lot of blood, and blood is something that is red, which is also associated with the root chakra. So it's very important for you to have a nice amount of vitamin C in you, and sources of vitamin C include various citrus fruit, green vegetables such as asparagus, avocados, greens, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, collard greens, beets, dandelion, grapefruit, kale, lemons, mangoes, pineapples. Some teas that you could create could include herbs like rose hips, alfalfa, burdock root, cayenne, chickweed, fennel seed, fenugreek, hops, horsetail, peppermint, kelp, mullein, nettle, oat straw, paprika, parsley, pine needles, plantain, raspberry leaf, red clover, violet leaves, yarrow, and yellow dock. Some crystals that you can use for the root chakra are also going to be added with a link to the Patreon. I actually made a PowerPoint presentation of crystals with the pictures and names that are associated with the root chakra. And you have to remember that root chakra can really cause things like depression and the addiction of smoking, drinking, which is something that depression does tend to be linked to. So make sure that you are paying attention to balancing out that root chakra. I hope that you learned some really beneficial things and are ready to start in the journey of keeping a balanced root chakra for your highest good. I'll see you guys in the next video. Be well.